won't be a problem.
So here she is, world rank number 6, of course, Ishikawa. She had a lot of form with regard to medals that she has won in her career. World Championships, 3 silver medals there, 2016, 15, 14 in the team, as well as the mixed doubles. Olympic silver medal in the team, 2012 in London, and 2016 the Rio bronze as well. So there's her coach in the corner, very, very focused, just watching the players warm up here. So she's an experienced player, as you've mentioned, Samara. What is the biggest weapon that she has that can perhaps hurt Ishikawa today?
Well, she's very spinny. She spins the ball, backhand and forehand. She comes off the table sometimes, but takes it early as well. So they'll both be trying to get in with attacking shots all the time.
So plenty of action to get through, as mentioned. Women's singles, we start off proceedings here, day 5 here. And don't forget, you can join in the conversation at @Scan ITTF Worlds 2017, and another added bonus as well for the viewers as well. Hashtag Ask a Commentator. If you have a question you want to pop our way, well, feel free to do so. And the action really just beginning to heat up now, and when we get to the latter stages of the tournament, that's when we expect to see the players bring a touch more X factor to the table with regard to the level of table tennis that we'll witness. Women's singles here. Women's singles will follow this here on table number 1 as well. Not before 11:15 AM. Another round 4 encounter will be coming your way as well. So in the women's singles so far, day 5 here in Dusseldorf, only 9 of the top 16 seeded players have made it through to this stage thus far. Have seen plenty of upsets. 11 Asians, 5 Europeans still have their name in the hat to go ahead and get the bragging rights. 14 attackers, 2 defenders, and all 16 who have made it through to this stage, the 4th round, are 100% shake hand grip players.
Samara, they're doing the reverse serve and trying to get in with a third ball, but made an error, and that's what both the players will be looking to do, keep the service tight, half long, so that's difficult for their opponent to get in with a topspin. Just clipping the net there. Samara putting her hand up for an apology.
Just see the height on the ball toss there for Ishikawa. What's your take on that? We see so much variation with regard to the serves so far from the players in the game at the moment.
Yeah, some players throw the ball up high, some, you know, don't throw it up quite so high. It's just their own preference, really, and it's what they train and practice in the practice hall. Because people say to me, oh, you know, she's got a fantastic serve, he's got a fantastic serve, but they've spent hours and hours in the training hall, you know, for an hour at a time with a bucket of balls, just serving and trying different contacts on the bat to make different spins and deception against their opponent.
Just missing the edge of the table this time, Samara. Saw her very early, just looking to loosen up her hitting arm. Keeping those shoulders nice and loose early doors here in this first game.
Samara there, just doing it long and deep onto the white line, makes it a bit more difficult for Ishikawa to get in. Anything mid-table, it's a lot easier, so that's why they're trying to keep it short or long on the baseline. Spin serve there. I mean, Ishikawa's playing a lot into Samara's middle, the crossover point on the body, so you've either got to play a forehand or a backhand. So if you're not in the right position, then you can make an error. Again, both balls there, straight to the middle, straight at her.
Good start here by the Japanese. In a position of strength already here. 4 points the difference. Still 1 more service point to go.
Good flick there by Samara.
It's a good change-up, wasn't it? Both players have used the middle of the table so far in the early exchanges in the And he's just very early finding the corner with her forehand.
Ishikawa varying the spin on service, the direction, keeping Samara guessing. Let's see what she can do with her service now.
It's a good serve, that was.
No spin on that ball, but Ishikawa didn't quite get over.
Really getting to work there on her forehand this time, Ishikawa. Very aggressive right from the return. Took it nice and early too.
Yeah, you can see on that receiver serve of that one, she did take it early, got a good angle, and then Samara was more or less on her back foot.
Oh, what a point from the outside edge there of the racket to the outside edge of the table. Beautiful rhythm there to that rally as well.
Yeah, that was fast and furious, and as you can see, she just touched the edge of the table. If it touches the side, then it's her opponent's ball, but Samara was able to touch the edge. Clever play there, good short serve, just brought it in just a little bit on that one.
Well, Ishikawa looking to avoid a similar fate of her fellow Japanese Sato yesterday. 4 game points here for the seeded player. Well, taking it the first attempt, a very, very aggressive forehand return sees Kasumi Ishikawa very quickly. But the first game on the board here, and she's done it in some style, 11 points to 6. So welcome back to the table, table number 1 here. The first game done and dusted in just a touch over 5 minutes there from Kasumi Ishikawa. Very, very sharp out of the blocks, forged out a very healthy lead and maintained that buffer from the start throughout the climax there of that opening game. So things need to change here for Elizabeta Samara. Just needs to be slightly more proactive, maybe more aggressive, get her forehand working well. Struck only 1 winner in that opening game.
Yeah, Samara's got to try and get in a little bit more. I think she was pinned too much to the middle, so she's got to get her feet going and try and get her forehand in from that position.
She must have heard you, Jill.
I think she must have done. But she's a strong character, Samara. I mean, during the Champion League matches in January, she was diagnosed with a tear in her meniscus, which resulted in immediate surgery the next day. And Samara was determined to recover and came back within 2 months, and that was this year. So she's obviously a strange character and wants to do well.
There we can see that forehand, as you've just mentioned, Jill, getting into play. Look at the use of the legs. Lovely rotation into it as well, getting the weight of her body behind it.
Good service and follow-up there. That's what the players are looking for. She's disguising her service so well. She's one of the top players that serves really well with a lot of deception of spin. Sometimes it's not always, it's difficult to see it on TV, but there's a lot of spin on the ball. Back spin, no spin, side spin.
So 3 points apiece here in game number 2. This is what she has to do here, Samara. Up against a higher ranked player, you have to stay so tight to them early doors in a game, not to let that game just run away from you. She'll take that, an unforced error there from Ishikawa.
That's what she's got to do, Samara. She's got to try and get in with a forehand. Try and dominate a little bit more. Shaking her head there. She topspin there with a backhand and then try and punch it with the backhand again, but made an error.
Oh, what a point. Great effort from both players there. More importantly, though, it's Ishikawa who goes ahead to win it.
You see how quick she stands up at the table and plays the ball. Samara's away, taking it later, coming back off the table.
It's something we spoke about off air, Jill, with the Asian players looking to be closer to the table, looking to take the ball a lot earlier as well than the European players.
Yes, that's right. That's one thing they have adopted. The European players are starting to do that now, but they are taking it incredibly early.
I mean, for the European players to bridge that gap, do we need to see more of them up in sticks and going to apply their trade in the Chinese Super League to do so?
Some are playing. A lot of players go out to China to train as well because they know they can get excellent sparring there. They've got depth in players. So there are a lot of European players that do go out there to train and play matches.
So here we are, level pairing here. The Romanian has parity here with Ishikawa, 6 points apiece. Casting my back to game number 1. This is where the Japanese just found an extra couple of gears. A couple of occasions so far we've seen the Romanian get a forehand, working its magic.
She was lucky there, Samara, because she went right round on the backhand side to play that forehand and then left the table open. Ishikawa just missing the white line. Good backspin serve there. Samara now looking to serve and try and get in. Seems to be making a few errors on her backhand.
Well, clarity of thought under pressure, especially at this stage of the tournament as well. A couple of cheap points given away there by Samara, right at the business end of the game. This is where the higher ranked players just seem to come to the fore in this kind of situation where they just stay focused, stay calm. A service point here for Ishikawa, 2 points to the good now. Oh, lovely change up there from Ishikawa. That was very smart.
Yeah, she's played that well. Good serve, followed in, and she's moving the ball around the table into the middle, wide, catching Samara out, and then just dropped it slowly.
That was a lovely feel at the end, wasn't it, just?
Yeah, great touch.
3 game points. So again, she takes it at the first attempt. Kasumi Ishikawa here of Japan is completely and utterly in the ascendancy here in our first round 4 women's singles match of the day. Table number 1, the seeded player now is 2 games to the good. So it's very, very tense and tight. 6 points apiece at one stage, but once again, for the second game in succession, Ishikawa just moving clear now. One winner struck in the first game, only 2 from Samara in the second game, and just look at the points won there as well, Jill. On the service points.
Yeah, six for Ishikawa and 3 for Samara.
Well, she can certainly relax now, Ishikawa. Perhaps she can play a lot more freer now and really go for her shots. And you have to say the same, really, for Samara. She's got nothing to lose now.
No, I think Samara's got to go for her shots, but you can see in that last game she's shaking her head, so obviously not happy with how she's playing. Seems to be missing that backhand.
Should she be a few points down here in game number 3, would it be a good choice for her coach to call that timeout, just to calm her down, perhaps?
I think that's a good time to have a timeout. Your coach would know your player really well, and he would know if Samara is getting frustrated with herself. So he would take her away from the table just to give her a few pointers.
And just to disrupt the rhythm, perhaps, of Ishikawa as well.
Yes, that's right.
Again, the variation from Ishikawa, absolutely so easy on the eye.
And what she's doing, she's plugging Samara into a middle, into a backhand. And the placement is so good, so she can't really get herself going. So she's playing one here and then playing one wide and can't really get into a rhythm. But, you know, all credit to Ishikawa. Placement is fantastic.
That's better. Much more aggression this time from Samara. Closer to the table, and again, the forehand brought into place. Well done. Confirmation of that, 69 kilometres an hour on that last win. I need to see more of that from her. Seems to start well here in these games and just tail off right at the back end of it.
That backhand again. It'd be interesting to see the stats of, you know, what errors she's made with her backhand, and percentage of them. I'm not sure we're able to pick that up, but I'm sure her coach will be recording that while he's sitting in the corner.
Well, that's where most of the traffic seems to be going to, doesn't it?
That's right,
and it's
yes.
working well. Just slightly off balance there, Ishikawa, there on that last forehand, forcing the mistake. Just seems to get a nice clean contact, actually, so often, Ishikawa. That's very noticeable here in this match.
Ishikawa decides to put a longer serve in to surprise Samara. Able to follow in with a forehand. That's what they've got to do. They've got to keep their opponents guessing.
A lovely movement. Her footwork is so sharp, Ishikawa. Such a bundle of energy around the table.
It's good topspin to topspin there, but Ishikawa changed direction last minute. And Samara there doing a fast serve. And a great follow-up with the forehand. Slightly slowed it down there, spun the ball up.
I mean, that's a miss, but in a way, in a sense, it's a good miss from Samara because she has to go for broke.
Yeah, it was just missed only slightly. So
small margins for her at the moment, isn't it?
Didn't quite get the angle. And Ishikawa keeps changing tactics, plays some short.
Well, she's been right on the money tactically wise, hasn't she? She's mixed things up, she's kept Samara thinking, she's pushed her back a good distance behind the table, not where the Romanian wants to be. And again, here we go again. It's a touch of deja vu, really. It's tight in the early exchanges before Ishikawa just moves clear. had to win that point, Samara. She didn't, just to stay touch tight.
Yeah, that was great play there. So backhand to backhand, and then you see a run round, and she sees that part of the table that's left open. Taking the ball so quickly.
Oh, it's amazing to watch the hand speed of her as well, the hand-to-eye coordination, the movement around the table. Well, this history about to repeat itself here. A couple of points here from wrapping up proceedings in game number 3.
Oh, that was a fantastic angle there.
It was, wasn't it? Just inside out this time. So once again here, plenty of game points to spare here for Kasumi Ishikawa of Japan. We're here for a 3 games to love lead.
Ishikawa not happy with that receive of serve.
And there it is, well done to Kasumi Ishikawa. Dots the I's, crosses the T's, once again does Kasumi Ishikawa. 1 game away now from reaching the next round here in Düsseldorf. So some more winners struck though by Samara, but still not good enough again to get a game on the board here, Jill.
No, 63% by Ishikawa, service points, and 40% with Samara. So that's their service and follow-up. So Ishikawa's dominating on service.
So 21 minutes gone. One-way traffic here with regards to how these games are being unravelled here. It's been very, very tight, but Ishikawa again, the higher ranked player, the one who has the medals at the Olympics, it just seems to have that extra skill set, getting the job done. She's a game away here from progressing through to the next round. You see the frustration just beginning to build here for Samara. It always was going to be a big test as to whether she could repeat her exploits from yesterday.
Yes, it's always difficult coming in to a match, having had a surprise win in a previous round, but you've got to pick yourself up. I don't think I'm seeing Samara play to her usual standard. Seems to be missing quite a few backhands, which is not like her.
Well, exactly. If you think of yesterday, Hitomi Sato committed a lot of unforced errors in that match as well, and so far Ishikawa has given her absolutely nothing. Very neat and tidy as well, tactically astute.
And then we say that, and then Samara comes out with a great shot.
Commentator's curse. When she has it in her locker, she's got weapons, Jill, but we just haven't seen those weapons on a consistent basis in this match today.
No, and I think Ishikawa knows that Samara's making errors with her backhand, and so she's plugging it more and then playing it into her middle.
Just got to stay on it here, concentration as well as focus-wise, Ishikawa. The job not quite done yet. She's not quite out the woods. Almost there with a 3-game margin.
It's a Romanian coach filming his player. And no doubt they'll be talking about that after. See where points were won and lost. Oh, nice forehand there from Ishikawa. see there, 78% going to the middle of the table.
Yeah, you called that very early in game one, Jill. And here it is. So the magnitude of the situation. We've seen that a timeout has been called, and you can see there body language very negative of Elizabeta Samara. There's a much more positive chat there between the Japanese corner as opposed to the Romanian one, and of course the scoreboard is the reflection of that. We'll just have a look at the difference here of the serve statistics here for Ishikawa. Big difference there. You can see the serve variation, mixing things up, and well, it's the reason she's ahead here. A couple of points to the good here in game number 4. When you're up against an Asian player at the table, every single point you have to be on the money. And unfortunately, so far, Samara hasn't been able to live with Ishikawa.
How's your Romanian?
Well, very sketchy, but we saw the body language of our coach there, and he's just saying perhaps what you've been touching upon, Jill, throughout the game. Backhand, backhand, backhand. Hasn't worked well enough.
No, but as you said, body language and a facial expression. She's not a happy bunny out there.
Well, she isn't. Just got to keep the shoulders loose and just try and express herself. Yes, it's easy for us to sit up here and say so, but she has to implement that.
Yeah, well, she's 3-0 down or 5-3 down, so she's got to go for her shots. She's got to try and be positive.
Stage of the match when you are on the back of a 3-game deficit, perhaps it's just about mental strength. Do you have what it takes to tough it out? Just 1 point, 1 game at a time. Try and get a game on the board to get up and running, but deficit now is to 2 points.
Well, once the points have gone, you've got to forget them, and you've got to be thinking ahead, as you said, 1 point at a time. Didn't quite get round enough with the feet to play that forehand correctly.
What a point again. She absolutely bossed that point right from the start to the finish, Ishikawa. How robust and aggressive was that?
Yeah, just moving the ball around the table. Excellent play there again. Samara trying to retrieve it away from the table.
Just a barrage of forehands, wasn't it? Now she's very close to the finishing tape now, Kasumi Ishikawa. It's looking all too ominous. It's all looking academic here for the Romanian. Well, maybe she is human after all.
Yes, that's an unusual error from Kasumi Ishikawa.
I can see her again, ever the perfectionist, isn't she? Practicing the next stroke. It's just getting back to what we was touching upon a few moments ago. Not quite out the woods yet. She has to remain focused there, Ishikawa. She's almost in the locker room, it feels like, you know, just trying to rush things there. Just looked quite at herself there in that last point.
Oh, a lot of backspin on that service.
She served so well today, Kasumi Ishikawa, and here she is, the seeded player, the Japanese, the 24-year-old, with 3 match points. Well, going for the $1 million shot this time, Ishikawa. Well, that's right at the end of the tunnel here for Samara. This is the closest she's been to the Japanese in a game, right at the end of it.
Well, she's a true professional, Samara. She'll give 100% right to the end.
Well, there it is. What a victory it is here for Kasumi Ishikawa of Japan. The 24-year-old has produced a very business-like performance here in this women's singles round 4 encounter. It was one-way traffic from the very first game up until the last. Safe as houses, solid as a rock. And Ishikawa has been certainly putting down a marker here to the remaining seeded players in the draw with that performance, Jill.